Hello everyone and welcome along to...
Hello, good afternoon and welcome back to the ISSF Junior World Cup for Day 2 and the next of our Skeet finals. Skeet Women Junior now take to the stage. Local time here in New Delhi, just coming up to 2:48 p.m. and the temperature is hovering around 35 degrees Celsius. Well, it was when I last just checked. There we go, it's even gone up a little bit. 36 Celsius and with those wind gusts of 7 metres per second. There's not too much wind here, certainly in the men's final. There's no real worries there. A hotly contested final, mind you. It was very, very close earlier with the men. And now the turn of the women junior. So India once again represented in this final. They have 3 finalists. Also the United States represented by Chloe Chalison, who's only 14 years old. Coach back in the States is Vincent Hancock. And also Italy represented with Ariana Nemba. And then we have Ksenia Shuliak, who is an individual neutral athlete. So that's how it finished earlier on today. Marco Coco in the Skeet Men Junior taking the gold medal. Meanwhile, there's some QR codes on screen for you just to help you out and make it a little bit easier for you to follow us on Instagram and on Facebook. So 12 gauge shotguns used in this one. Cartridge weights of up to 24 grams. They will allow just that 0.5 if it goes over on these scales, but that's all checked by equipment control, and then the cartridges are sealed into boxes. So that gives you an idea of what a 12 gauge shotgun actually looks like. And the maximum weight is up to 4 kilos. Look at those flags fluttering. As I said, we do have a slight wind. 7 metres. Jamie, some real talent in this one, but again, bit of a highlight, the 14-year-old American who is coached by none other than Mr. Vincent Hancock.
Yeah, I just want to say, it might be a slight wind, but any wind's the right wind right now. It's so hot and humid out here at the Dr. Khani shooting range in New Delhi. And that's just for us, sitting in the shade. I don't know what it's like for these guys out here in the field of play under the hot sun, as they have been for the last few days of competition. But as you mentioned, yes, Chloe Chalison of the United States of America. Yeah, she's got a lot of experience, but she is the youngest athlete out there, the age of 14. Rory, we were talking about this when we saw the start list come through. We do see the occasional athlete this age in rifle and pistol showing up in finals, sometimes even at senior events, but particularly in shotgun. It's kind of rare, isn't it, at this level?
Yeah, I mean, it makes me just think back to the likes of Amber Rutter, that was then Amber Hill, when she was representing Great Britain, going out to Rio and started on this sort of stage at such a young age as well. But it just goes to show, it's one of the beauties of shooting as well as the longevity of careers, because as you've just pointed out, we see this quite a bit. Well, I say quite a bit, but it's more frequent in rifle pistol, particularly with the athletes from People's Republic of China. But I think it's just a joy. This is the joy of shooting. This is what it provides, and it gives these opportunities for people of this age to come, well, not only experience a country like this and experience an event like this, but An ISSF Junior World and to come in wearing bib number 2, well, that's no mean feat.
Yeah, absolutely. And one of the great things about these junior competitions as well, we do get introduced to brand new names, at least to us on the international circuit, but equally you end up with a lot of experience out there. There's a number of athletes here with senior experience, let alone junior experience. We've got junior European champions, we've got the new junior Asian champion, but also Riza Dillon has had a busy 2025. She made the senior World Cup final in Lima, finishing
later on today
in 5th place. She's also an Olympian, qualifying for Paris 2024. Still doing it on the junior circuit as well. I think it was silver in Seoul at the World Cup. And once again, she's made it into the final. So she's becoming a familiar name both in junior and senior.
Yes, indeed. Yeah, Riza Dillon.
No, listen, 24 hours is a long time, and if anything...
Dylan, real talent. You mentioned that Olympic qualification as well with the quota place. I remember being there at the Asian Championships last February or the tail end of January when we were in Q8 to actually see her in that performance, and she really caught my eye as well. Riza Dillon really is a real talent, and at 21, just edging out towards the end of her junior career. But as you said, Jamie, we've got a former European champion in the form of Ariana Member, and also the current Asian champion as well in Manchi Ranghuwanshi, who has managed to qualify top and wears bib number 1. Now, like the men's final, that bib system really came into play. I think it's going to really come into play in this final today.
Yeah, you're right. We did see that come well and truly into play with Marco Coco securing the gold after qualifying in 1st place. And there was a number of eliminations on bib number throughout that men's. And also, I'm sure that's going to be a similar story here in the women's. You know, you make it into the final like Juliak of AIN. She came in via a shoot-off, but you do have that extra pressure throughout, knowing you've got the weakest bib number, the least protection should you be in a tie break situation. But you mentioned Ranghuwanshi. She's going to be really interesting to watch. Qualified in 1st place, bib number 1, and she's actually in her 1st year of international competition. This is her 1st ever World Cup, but she must be coming in full of confidence after becoming Junior Asian Championship, which was only a matter of weeks ago in Shymkent, Kazakhstan.
That's right, yeah, and I think really just in terms of the 6 athletes that we've got here, yes, we've mentioned the 14-year-old from the United States, but the rest of them just so decorated. I mean, even looking at Ksenia Juliak, I mean, she's competed at World Championships, World Cups, Junior World Cups, European Championships, and she was unlucky really in Porpetto last year at the Junior World Cup. She finished 7th. Just slightly not qualifying for the final, but has managed to make it here today at the 19-year-old underneath the Indian sun. Now, speaking of how hot it is, Jamie, you've mentioned that, and you know you're looking as resplendent as ever and very, very dapper. But you know you do like your coffee. Would you even drink coffee in heat like this?
You say I'm.
So the formalities then underway. I've made my way through a big crowd on the grid here, and Seb will catch up with me. I'm at pole position, which is driver's right nearest the pit wall, as Seb will fight his way through. The car that is on pole position here is
looking
AMG,
resplendent, but I am about, I don't know,
photos that I don't want to break through.
8 meters away from you?
Go off and give that shirt an iron then.
Oh, so you have changed your opinion already? I stepped
have.
1 meter closer and you instantly changed your opinion.
Pat.
Thanks, mate.
Just go and smarten yourself up, would you?
Okay.
Jamie Stangroom, our announcer, as smart as ever. He's in a full shirt and collar. So am I, actually, to be fair, but I've gone for short sleeve. Jamie opting for a heavier weave as well with that cotton shirt, but doesn't half look the part, to be honest. And the Mexican trousers as well. He spent such a long time in Mexico and now wears those tapered Mexican trousers and even has a full-on pair of loafers on as well, whereas I've gone for smart shorts and I've gone then for smart trainers. But I'm off camera, so you don't get to see me. Anyway, we are about to get underway with this shotgun final. If it's anything like the men's, they gave us a pretty decent display and it went right down to the wire, particularly between the silver and bronze medal position. There was a battle then for bronze towards the end. That was then settled on bib number, the European champion walking away with the bronze, and then Marco Coco of Italy taking the gold in real style. Wasn't leading from the start, did have bib number 1, had an impressive qualification, but that was the men earlier. Now it's the turn of the women junior, and we've got them lined up, and I think we're ready for the introductions.
National anthems first of Spain and then of Catalonia, the red and the gold here at the circuit of Catalonia, right next to the pole position car, and this man is on his way to us at the moment, whilst Maro Engel is here. Let's have a word with Ben Pack. Benjamin, how are you this morning?
Very good. Yeah, feeling is good. No a lot of pressure, so ready for good for us.
How do you get yourself into the state of mind for a 24-hour
Well, here they come, the 6 athletes for this Skeet Women Juniors Final, live for you here at the ISSF Junior World Cup New Delhi 2025. We're live for you across YouTube and on Facebook and on the Olympic channel.
Very comfortable, so ready, and yeah, let's hope to do a good result.
We wish you good racing. Maro Engel has just joined us, looking as cool as ever. Hello, my friend. Just briefing with the mechanics there. Nice job in qualifying by the whole team, because of course 3 people have to do it. You were always going to be here this weekend. I know how much you love this race.
And Mansi Raghuwanshi is the first to be introduced in bib number 1, the current Asian champion.
First of all, it's a great circuit, great atmosphere, great vibe. I've never done this race, so it's always been a race I've had an eye and wanted to do, so it's great to have the opportunity to do it. And as you mentioned, you know, the whole team at CFT and my co-drivers, everyone did a great job so far, and now just looking forward to...
And Chloe Chalinsen, the American, sitting behind me, a moment in history for this 14-year-old.
A reasonable 25 and average 25.
It's been pretty good. I think in all the major championships we're in the running for the title, and now it's crunch time to see if we can get the titles. It becomes a very good year. If we can't, then obviously it's more of an average year. So, but I think we put ourselves in a good position.
And a real talent, Riza Dillon, representing the home nation of India, the second athlete from India in this final.
It's the Michelin tyre and how it reacts to this surface. This is a tough track for any manufacturer of tyres. Is that going to be the key here, tyre management?
Yeah, for sure. Barcelona is a tough track for the tyre. We know the deck is usually quite high.
And Ariana Nemba, a former European champion from Lenato last year.
The car nicely, and the tyre's working well.
You're really looking forward to this, aren't you?
Yeah, well, it's enjoying racing, enjoying being here, and looking forward to getting started.
Race well, have a good one.
Thank you.
Right, that's Maro Engel on pole position. Stay with me. This is a proper old-fashioned dive through. Look at how many people there are on the grid here as the tyres are coming.
And the
out
third
with
of the Indian
warmers to go
athletes to be
Maro
introduced in this
Engel.
final.
Let's go back into the crowd. The grid's just starting to be cleared. It will make our lives just a tiny little bit easier. You probably can't see the rest of the front row, but I promise you it is there.
And Ksenia Shuliak, 19 years old, has competed across World Championships, World Cups, Junior World Cups, European Championships. She was unlucky last year in the Junior World Cup in Porpetto, finished 7th just outside of the final itself. And Bindra is our jury in charge.
We know him, we know
and
you.
Inka Ferry
so the big guns
with
are in right from the
Harwanti
start.
of Indonesia as our referee.
Racing, you can't win a race at the start, but you can lose it. What's
So if you have just joined us, welcome along. You're just in time. We're live for you on YouTube and on Facebook and across the Olympic channel. If you are on YouTube, feel free to like and subscribe to the channel. That way, not only do you get our live broadcast, but also all of our other content as well. Also means you can watch it back on YouTube and watch it back on Facebook as well. So that's how they line up. That's the bib numbers 1 through to 6. 3 athletes from the home nation of India. 1 athlete from the United States of America, 1 from Italy, and Ksenia Shuliak, who is an independent neutral athlete.
Spectacular lifespan for this version of the Porsche GT3 car. We've already been thankful to see that car racing in the
So just a reminder of the world record, standing at 57 hits out of 60, and Yang Yiting
Of course,
of People's Republic of China.
There
have been questions asked to me.
Really
Only the Chinese team here.
The last two races were really good. We could win the 12 hours of Ball overall.
The Republic of Korea.
The Pro-Am category, and to win it overall, it's something really
So here we go,
nice
the first of the shots in the Skeet Women Junior Final.
24 hours is always a different story. Everybody knows it's
first will be
so
4
hard,
targets at station 3.
Also for the machines, for the crew. You need to
first
be
the normal, then the reverse.
For 24 hours. One mistake can change everything. But the car is well prepared. We took a lot of focus on this as a whole team. We tried everything, that everything is perfectly prepared.
In Creventic, we often say that actually you, Maro, the pro drivers, this series isn't really for you. It's for your gentleman drivers and people who drive less often.
So Rafi Wanshi opens up. 2 targets, 2 hits.
Big race tracks.
And a very respectful cheer from the crowd in the background.
Do you have a slightly different mentality as a pro driver, knowing that this is slightly more relaxed?
I mean, in the end, the rules allow it that it's possible that you can have a pro driver. So
4
that's
out of 4
why I think
for the
Maro,
Indian,
me,
who
and
qualified
some other drivers
in
are
top
here.
position, therefore wearing bib number 1. Now here goes the 14-year-old from the United States.
It's a different approach, also in terms of setup. We have 4 drivers now in the car, and the car has to fit for all 4 drivers. It means sometimes you need to make some sacrifices in terms of car setup. But this is how the sport is.
By the way, she just stands there and sets into the shot.
Of the whole car crew, of the whole car, of the potential, and that's why you need to do sometimes
as well, just holding. Missed that last one, but a decent start for the 14-year-old, considering the pressure and the conditions.
Get ready because he's first in
3 out of 4
in the car. I want to nip across to the other side of the track here. Still quite a lot of people on the track. We'll get back to the Ferrari at Skedaria Praha in just a second, but here's the GT3.
So Dillon with a hit and a miss
car
in her opening shots at station 3.
Pretty special occasion for these guys this weekend, but before they get underway, Alexander Prince, how are you, fella?
I'm fine so far.
Yeah.
Everything is relaxed, excited for the race, so...
And manages to nail those last 2 and turn these flash targets.
Smile on your face more times than not when I've come to speak to you, and I'm not always in the pit lane. I know.
So former European champion from last year, took the title in the Lenato.
It's difficult to say.
Of Italy.
For sure, we have in the front rows, we have all the pro drivers to catch up with these guys. We focus on our AM class for sure. But for sure, we always we try to survive till the morning, and then we try, like always, we try to push hard to give them a hard time. And let's see what's coming out of this. Hopefully near to the overall podium, and
he also performed quite well at the Junior World Cup back in Seoul earlier this year.
Racing for a very long time. In fact, there's a bit of an anniversary.
Visit there. She's also a silver medalist in the World Championships. That was in the mixed team junior last year.
Elsa,
and
which is
bronze medal from the World Championships in Lima from 2024.
Why do you guys keep coming back as a team, as a family, to Creventic racing? There are plenty of places and championships you can race GT3 cars now. Why this one?
Yes, for sure. It would be possible for us to go also to other series, but we just love all the atmosphere here. We love the family atmosphere. We love that the fans can come close to the cars. It's not like completely like a secret everywhere. Also the teams, they are so friendly. We're helping out each other, not only in between the AMG teams, it's also with every kind of team. If someone has a problem, we are helping, because we love racing.
Station
it's
3.
Just about racing, passion, enjoying the whole weekend, and we have for sure the most driving time we can get. And as an AM driver, it's really important that you get before the race a lot of driving time, because we just come to the race and sit in the race car. It's not like the pro drivers that we can every week we sit in the race car. We need the time to get used to the track, the car, and feel really comfortable for ourselves. So, and that's our main reason. And for sure, we love also all the guys behind the camera with a microphone.
Decent start.
It's just lovely to come here.
3 out of 4.
Like a friendship, everything.
I was going to say,
sometimes just to open up with that 4 out of 4 is exceptional, but under these conditions in this heat, 36 degrees Celsius.
Push myself to like more.
I'll let you get ready.
Thank you very much.
Best of the team. Let's move on down the grid. The grid is being cleared at the moment. Our race direction helping out with that. Still some tyres going along. Another row of AMGs
watching in the United States.
The Ferraris. I was going to have
temperature
a quick look at Scuderia Ferrari, but
just under 97 degrees Fahrenheit.
They are getting ready. Now, Seb, I want to go this way and to the Ferrari that is on your left-hand side, and to the team of Era Motorsports now. Let's see, where's the boss? Is he around?
Well, a decent brace of hits that time from Chloe Challiston.
In Mufti. So Jake Hill, current British touring car champion, heading off into international motorsport. I'm not going to ask you about that because that's not what we're talking about here today. Congratulations on a fantastic year last year. You've been very competitive at times this year as well in the Touring Car Championship.
Double miss.
But you're loving this, and you're loving Era, and a very special livery on this car this weekend.
Visit.
It is, yeah. Thank you,
First
Andy.
time asking the Station 4 for Riser, but there's still
big move
time in this final to recover.
Leaving British Touring Car Championship at the end of the year, and looking forward to doing more sports cars for next year. So that's a big move for myself. For this weekend,
former European champion, meanwhile.
New on the car for the final
2
round,
targets, 2 hits.
With New Life, which is a special care baby foundation charity, which is important, obviously, to us and the team. So, yeah, glad to be supporting that, and hopefully we can get our
time here. Yeah. But you're up against some very experienced teams in this championship and some absolutely top-class works drivers. I've just spoken to some of them.
Yeah, for sure. I mean, for me, quali was good. I was on for pole in the silver stint in the middle part of qualifying until I got held up by an Audi in the very last corner. So a bit gutted, but yeah, still P3 for myself. Ryan was third in the gold session as well.
Referee,
Dwight still needs to find a little bit of time, but you know what, he did really well. And I don't think a lot of people used their effectively slowest AMs in qualifying at the first part yesterday. So I think Dwight's going to be all right, actually, once we get him in.
Right, we've got to get off the grid now. When are you in?
5 o'clock.
5 o'clock, all right. Right, I've just heard a hooter. 2-class
and after that delay as well, Kamwar's really dealt with that situation quite well.
That new 992 class Paul. Remember the Ajit Kumar Ant car
came back there with 2 hits.
To go further back because of a chassis change overnight. And we've got the 993 AM car right alongside it as well. What have they got ahead of them? 24 hours of this superb circuit, which races really well for multi-class racing. What does it look like? Well, rather like this. Here's Ben.
Thanks very much, John. Here is the Michelin guide of this Circuit de Barcelona, Catalunya, which is 4.6 kilometers in length. An average lap time.
And Juliet, you heard the beep in the background. That second target a miss. Managed to get the first. So now it's the first crucial visit to Station 5.
2025 Michelin tyres. Top speed of over 280 kilometers an hour as you come down.
So we've got 2 athletes tied on 6 out of 6. We've still got Nemba and Brakiwanshi both without a miss.
For turns 1 and 2, and then an acceleration through turn 3, up to another pretty high speed of the braking zone at turn 4, and that's the second part of the lap. The second interception through turns 7 and 8, and then this fast flick right-hander at turn 9 down towards the last sector of the lap. You've got a hard hairpin left, and then an acceleration zone at turn 12, hairpin right. Got rid of the chicane that Formula 1 had there for about 7 years, so it's pretty fast at 13, almost flat at 14, relying upon those tyres.
Well, that's how it's done. 4 targets, 4 hits for the athlete from India in front of her home crowd.
Last year's lap record,
the 14-year-old from the United States.
In McLaren on Hankooks, we get the 40s this year in the Michelin tyres. We have seen a 38 from GT3 cars in other classes, but of course it does very much depend on the conditions of the day and the tyres. As I said, my name is Ben Constanduris. It's great to have you with us for this 24-hour series finale. We've got 9 GT3 cars able to take the championship. We've got 6 in 992.
With 3 out of 4.
There's lots of stories and quite a few teams, Peter Mackay, that are visiting us, not for the first time, but not in the championship battle, and are going to play around and not interfere with the championship because they've got their rights to win as well, including our pole car, TFT Racing, Mauro Engelby starting that car.
Dylan, that's real class this time.
Alongside a Mercedes and Audi on the front row.
Each time I see her shoot recently, I'm reminded of that
first of our championship challenges
in the Asian Championships at the Olympic qualifiers at the beginning of last year in Kuwait. She was absolutely superb throughout that tournament.
Starting the Scuderia Praha Ferrari. And then Hoffa Racing
former European champion
Alexander Prince
has a miss.
And that is
And it's
row
her
3
first
for
miss.
you. We've got another Mercedes on row 4. Get Speed are here. And great to have the Aston Martin of E2P racing, the Spanish team.
Slight delay on that second shot. I think it already raced away.
Well.
And
They start on row 4.
2
Row
hits,
5,
2 misses, so
Africa,
he's locked now on 8 hits. And Kamwa has a chance to go into second place. If she can get these 4 targets, take her total to 9.
Vipanisa Racing, an era on row 6. And then the last of our GT3 car rows is 2 Audis, Continental Racing by Simpson and the Jutta Racing Audi. Then into the midst of our 992 category. A few changes there. Red Camel Jordan inheriting the pole position alongside Seb Lejeune Racing after a penalty.
Well, terrific shooting from Kamwa of India.
The Ajit Kumar Racing
recover
Porsche
particularly after that miss. Those last 2 hits will just
20th position now
boost
after
her confidence
change.
on the return visit to Station 3.
Just ahead of them, and Holmgard Motorsport will be sharing row 10 with Ajit Kumar Racing. Still waiting to see who will be starting that particular car. A different lineup for Ajit Kumar this weekend. The car run, of course,
Cassini
by
shoot a few
Red Ant Racing.
Weeks ago at the European Championships in Châtellerault,
we have
which was
GP
the Olympic
Racing
venue.
And the first of
looked very impressive
Vortexes.
across those competitions.
Solène Amarouche will start the 974. Lionel Farmer will start the 701. They are the only
Hit those
GTX
first 2.
category
The last
cars.
2 was a hit
GT4
and a
is led
miss.
by NM Racing. We've also got
So we're now 10 targets in to this final, and just 1 athlete without a miss so far. And Mansi Raghuvanshi, representing India, has managed to have the perfect start. Is the only athlete to do so. 3 other athletes tied on 8. This is unfolding so far similar to how it did with the men earlier today. Liza Dillon and Christina Shuliak, meanwhile, both now on 7 hits out of 10.
33-car field is the triple one. Asbest Racing, older style.
So over the next 10 targets,
Porsche.
That'll decide the first elimination for 6th place. So this is when the margin of error in a skeet final such as this really reduces.
Peter, it's we saw how close it was in qualifying in all different
What you
classes.
don't want is too many misses to give yourself too much work to try and catch up.
No, it won't. Everyone's been talking about tyre degradation all week long, and it has an effect not just on the performance of the tyre that you get across the stint, but also the way you set the car up. And some of the most experienced teams in this paddock who know their package inside and out have been struggling to find a setup. We're going to find out now how that plays out in these first few hours of the race. We're just approaching 12 o'clock local
4 out of 4.
So
Perfect
in
start
the next
continues.
3-4 hours, we're going to get the warmest part of the day, which of course puts more stress.
It's often sometimes when athletes do have that perfect start after the first 10 targets, can waver
as well. Great cars as always here for the 26th
Station 3, but not on that particular occasion
24
for
hours of
Raghuvanshi.
Barcelona, and 24 hours from now we'll know who will be the holder
Chloe's going to have
of
to
the
shoot at those 2 again. That second bird was
just switching
classed as
through
no
the
target.
onboard cameras that you can watch on our YouTube
And
channel.
the American absolutely
With
nails
Patrick Hoyt
those as well.
The RPM
Decent hit
Racing
movement.
Porsche down in
To get to that
21st
second
position
shot
on the grid,
particularly.
but a multiple supercar
2 out of 4 so far
champion
for the
back in the
14-year-old.
day. Imagine that 992 car is going to be quite active in the first couple of laps.
It will be.
Well, she is just looking like a student of the illustrious Vincent Hancock.
The top GT3 teams, a lot of them are putting their fastest driver in early. Maro Engel for
Vinny,
TFT
if you are
Racing,
watching, I'm
Pulsing, Mercedes
sure it's a very
AMG,
proud moment
Klaus
for you.
Bachler in the Proton Huber competition Porsche, and also in the era Ferrari is Ryan DL as well. So a lot of teams are going for their top graded driver early on to try and get an early jump on this race. And I'm sure for all of the era team, they're racing for a bigger purpose this weekend for new life special care babies. The car's pink. It's normally blue.
Well, great timing there from Riza Dillon. 4 out of 4 back at Station
If you go
3.
onto the Era Motorsport social media page, you'll see the link where you can donate to that wonderful
the turn of the
charity
former
which
European
provides
champion from
special
last year.
care for newborn babies who need special medical care.
Delay
It's a
on that second
fantastic
shot, but
cause.
managed to
Be
pick it up
sure
and get
to
in
go
front of
and
it.
support it.
Great recovery from
Just
Nemba.
one
She was
formation
4th
lap,
in
so the cars now
the Seoul
lining up in
Junior World Cup
2x2
final
formation.
earlier
With
this
the
year.
final couple of turns of this Barcelona lap, a plunge downhill
Narrowly
through
missed
the
out on
final
the medal
turn
that
of the
day.
lap. which in racing conditions will be flat out. We've already had racing around the circuit this morning, the final round of the TCR Europe Championship as a support race.
Third athlete from India.
It's really great to see 24H
in this
series
final now back at station 3.
Add to the program. Actually, a really strong amount of fans coming out to watch on the grid earlier on. It was an absolutely packed grid walk and a beautiful day. Barcelona does really do well with getting the locals to come and watch. 33 cars for the Barcelona 24 hours for 2025. Thunder and rumble towards the line to get us underway.
Is that a double miss?
And now they accelerate towards turn 1.
2 flags just raised by the referee. On the side refs I just saw off camera off to my right. Camwa, those made double figures, stays on 10.
Try and get to the front, and actually it's not a particularly strong start from Maro Engel. Really hassled by Klaus Bachler going into turn 1. Everyone else sorting themselves out through the first couple of
just
turns.
as the humidity as well, just feel it on the rise.
An Audi to his outside, so that's Tribonini trying to go around the outside of him after a very aggressive turn 1. Now Bachler's having to look slightly in his mirrors as he comes into turn 4, claims that
managed to recover and get those final 2 to take her total to double figures, and is now tied alongside Kamwa on 10 hits. So Raghuvanshi of India still on the perfect start, 14 out of 14. This is our first visit to second visit to station 4. So now the athletes will face a reverse pair.
They unfortunately have come into the pits well off schedule, so that's not a good start to their 24 hours of Barcelona.
No, and they've also under investigation for leaving the pit lane under a red light. So new to the championship, new to the regulations, and there's a lot to get your head around when it comes to.
So if you have just joined us, welcome along. We're live for you on YouTube, on Facebook, and on the Olympic channel. This is the ISSF Junior World Cup 2025 live in New Delhi.
Back out again. So whatever the issue was, not needing to spend too long in pit lane. Josef Kraul is on the move. He's up to 4th position in his Ferrari.
Double miss
down a position.
Raghuvanshi.
There is a gap because
Perfect start now gone.
And that's Axel Jeffries, who started in 9th. I think he's going to come across the line in 5th position. What a great first lap from the Zimbabwean.
Axel Jeffries doing a top job.
Meanwhile, Chloe Chalensin, well, you can hear the whoops and the cheers from the American team. She just looks ever so calm and collected.
And yellow Ferrari as they come down into turn 1. But I'm really impressed in the early laps here. Stefan Tribudini, who's an AM-graded driver. He's surrounded by professionals here. Maro Engel, Klaus Bachler, 2 of the greatest GT drivers in the world right now. And he's right there around with them and holding his own as well.
Liza
Great
Dillon
stuff from Stefan
matches
Tribudini
the American
in that black and green Santa
number 2 back at station 4 on that reverse.
That car at the start of the race and saw the drivers around him, I imagine the nerves were high, but as you see, doing a good job. He's got Josef Kraul all over the back of him through 3, but couldn't find a way through as they come down to 4. And actually, Kraul's going to be looking in his mirrors as well, because Axel Jeffries is right there. Then there is a gap. Then it's Redon, Ozeka and Lismo, so 2 Mercedes and Audi, and then Alexander Prince lost a position at the start. Dominic moved up into the top 10 for Viper Nisa, and Ryan DL making inroads, of course, in
double
his
miss
Ferrari
at station 4.
position
both of the Indian athletes, apart from Liza Dillon,
the average qualifying, as we heard from Jake Hill, using their slower drivers.
Meanwhile, of Italy,
and finding themselves therefore lower down the pack. Yellow flag showing at turn
a real quick raise of the shotgun out of the mount position there as that call was made, and it's 2 targets, 2 hits.
Oh no, last year's winners in the GT4 category
Chuliak.
going again.
So let's see how we're looking then after 16 targets. 2 athletes tied at the top. The 14-year-old is on 14 hits. And Chloe Chalensin is alongside Mansi Raghuvanshi.
Driver to not panic and crack on. They had a great run last year.
So the first elimination almost upon us after the next 4 targets. And Kanwar of India,
one of the most professional teams
who's currently in bib number 5,
it's spotless.
just crept in on double figures.
They've got a simulator in there for their guests,
so the maximum Kanwar can hit is 14.
Barcelona, as well as the drivers themselves. And I have to say, they really do an amazing job.
Now trying to banish the memory of that double miss a few moments ago.
They've got a full setup.
First one was a miss, second one a hit.
Weren't particularly lucky, if I
Target from the low house just raced off to the left.
were leading GT4. They've had races where they haven't had anybody else to race against. I think Mizana, they were the only GT4 car. But they do have competitors here in N Racing and in Team Sorg Rennsport. They were leading both of them, but now at the tail of the field.
So a little bit of a split appearing then between the top 5, and then a couple of seconds back to 6th place, where Ayrton Redont in the number 93 Red Ant Mercedes.
So that's a miss and a hit
just
for
a bit of a
Chloe
gap there. It's
Shalensin.
already coming across a little bit of multi-class
15.
traffic for the leaders with that delayed Honda, but they're kind of queuing up behind Ayrton Redont at the moment. That team, a very established member of the Michelin 24-Hour Series, double champions in 992.
But manages to make a recovery with those
year.
final 2 targets at station 5.
Overall win. They came
Takes
very
a total
close
to 17 now alongside Ragu
They
Anshi.
get their first overall win in Michelin 24-Hour Series competition. They're going to have to be perfect, but they've got a great driver lineup. They've got 5 drivers in there, including Cartos, who they've managed to bring over from the Porsche fold for this weekend, which I think is a very, very wise signing indeed.
Now, don't forget, we are not going to be seeing ultimate fastest laps from our professional drivers at the head of the field. They've now established their positions. They're now in tyre preservation mode. You're going to
takes 4 out of 4.
Tyre preservation across the 24 hours as Yannick Redon loses a position there to Adam Osieka.
Shot clock already ticking down from 30 seconds.
Because we've got a Mercedes at the head of the field, but that is the 6th position
30 seconds you've got to complete
we
your
need
4
to
shots.
Get these Michelin tyres preserved. The circuit incredibly abrasive, incredibly aggressive, and we need to get within 50 minutes because there's a new regulation, Peter, that means you can't change tyres if you've done less than 50 minutes on a set of tyres in a code 60. Is that correct?
That's right, yeah. So if it was under a green flag conditions, you wouldn't want to be pitting within 50 minutes anyway because you haven't used up your fuel tank. But if you come in under code 60, what was happening is that when there was a code 60, teams had calculated that it
shot
was
from Nemba sealed the fate of Camois because that put her to 15, which makes it now impossible for Camois to stay in this final. So the athletes from India wearing bib
is a huge expense.
18-year-old.
One of the biggest parts of a racing budget is the tyres.
In the Asian Championship final.
More generous budget than others, they're at a competitive advantage. So what
now leave this final in 6th place at the ISSF Junior World Cup here in New Delhi.
To try and limit that use and to try to reduce everybody's tyre bill effectively. And that's where they're very, very clever at working with the competitors, listening to the teams, listening to their concerns, and addressing them to try and
a decent way to finish, just with a double hit after that miss, a bit of a recovery.
There's another little strategical angle to follow, if you like.
So Juliak now
still in 3rd position.
Still to go.
Stefan Tribodini holding on ahead of those 2 Ferraris that have the pro drivers in their cars.
Likely for 6th place.
And Axel Jeffries 4th and 5th.
Absolutely confirmed just yet.
Adam Oseka and
still has 4 shots.
Have broken clear.
He needs to hit at least 2.
Redon, who's dropped from 6th down to 8th position on that last lap. Redon now has Prince and Rian Diel behind. And I suppose Dominic Ang in that little queue as well now in his Viper Nisa Mercedes. Then the first of the 992 category, and that's interesting because we saw how good James Kellett was
now in bib number 6.
Qualifying. If you remember, he was
at least 2
absolutely
to stay
in the final part of qualifying for 992.
And gets those first 2, so Agrima Camois,
of the 992
much did in the Asian Championships,
3.5 seconds
leaving this final in 6th place.
Breukers. So in the Red Camels Jordan car, they have their fast gun in Rick. But James Kellett showing his heels at the head of 992 right now.
I'm not surprised to see James Kellett putting in this performance.
There's a miss there at the end. I think just Juliak just turning around to check the scoreboard. She is safe on a total of 15. So our first athlete to leave in 6th place. She was 4th in the Asian Championships in the mixed team junior, 6th in the individual final earlier this year. And 18-year-old Agrima Camois of India is the first to leave in 6th place. A terrific achievement, particularly in front of a home crowd here. Lots of pressure on the 18-year-old today. 2 athletes from India remain, but the first of 3, Agrima Camois, has left in 6th place. On a total of 13.
And you might think, well, why is Heindorf
so 4 athletes tied on 17. Senior Juliak in 5th place on 15. We're now back at station 3, and over the next 10 targets, we'll decide 5th place.
The electric drivers, the guns, the batteries, all on charge over that side. The right-hand side. Over to the left-hand side, we have a C-Tech battery charger. I've got about 4 of those myself. Everything is in its proper place. The extra batteries for the headsets all the way down. Drivers' helmets all in the right places so everybody knows what it is. Little spot for people to be relaxing in the pit lane. And then, of course, lots of water and other drinks to get you through the night. And the most important things, there's some sweeties and chocolates, but my eyes have rested, of course, gentlemen, on the fruit. It's all neat and tidy here. At the moment, what will it look like in 24 hours' time? I'm not entirely certain, but they'll be hoping just to polish it, put wheels and tyres on it and send it. They've already got a new set of brake discs because they know they'll have to do a brake disc change
visit
at
to
some
Station
stage
3 for
during
the
the race
14-year-olds.
down there at Holgard.
It's 2 hits and now a chance to take the lead in this competition.
Important part of when to do the brake change. An impressive range of snack.
Vincent Hancock, our coach, is watching live.
Very nice indeed, but
it's 4:56 a.m.
on course because
in
in
Fort
turn
Worth in Texas
there's
at the
been a yellow
moment.
flag shown. I don't see though, Ben, on our track map a car going slowly.
No, I think the Aston Martin was facing the wrong direction on the exit of turn 8, but has got going again. Very difficult car to drive. The new Aston Martin Vantage, brought in, what, 2 years ago now? Built by ProDrive and very much a purebred racing car. I say that because there are cars in this field in the GT3 category designed for the gentleman driver,
one hit, one miss,
to jump into and feel comfortable and be able to push. And there were other cars out there,
hits
mainly
at Station
the
3.
modern GT3 cars, that are much more on the knife edge, much harder to extract the best performance out of. And ProDrive is a company that, of course, built the 550 Maranello, the 555 Subaru, is where I was going with that one, and various race cars across the last 25 to 30 years. They have built a purebred, almost Formula 3 style race car. And so E2P Racing, which is a driving school effectively here in Spain, trying to get the best out of what is a beautiful car, which is a brand new car, but a very, very tricky car to get the best out of. And they have struggled, to be fair, all year. We've got in the moment in the car
so can Juliak now match
their least
what
experienced driver
has just done before,
and unfortunately he has swapped
Chloe
ends. But he's going again. We didn't see it on the screens,
ago. 4 out of 4.
Is down in 24th
It's possible
position.
it's on.
Big pressure being placed on the 6th
One
place
hit,
car.
one miss. So 3 out of 4 this time for Juliak back at Station 3. So we return once again to Station 4, a crucial stage of this final.
Audi right in behind Haas.
And I say that because we've had that first elimination already, and this is where if you slip behind too much, you can give yourself too much to do in terms of the hits. The bib number system will be in place right the way up to the bronze medal and the decision for that first medal in this final. So we have 2 athletes tied on 21. The 14-year-old from the United States, Chloe Chalisin, alongside the former European champion, Ariana
the
Nemba.
never-ending turn 3, turn 4 complex, just right-hander, and you're just punishing the tyre. And this is an area of the circuit where the tyre is going to be put under its biggest stress. And the Mercedes is an interesting car because it's got a big 6.2 litre V8 in the front of it, which some drivers have commented in the past that it can be quite hard on its tyres, whereas the Audi is totally different. Big capacity V10, but in the middle of the car, so a little bit different. And Lismon definitely getting held up here, but behind Oseka, because also Alexander Prinz has come to join the party. So this is a 3-way fight for 6th position as they come round turn 9 at the moment.
I wonder whether there was a little bit of kissing between the
first
two
one,
as they came out
the
of
second
turn
one was a
5
miss
there was a half
for
a
Chloe
nose up the
Chalisin of the
inside on
United
exit,
States.
and then the Audi
So
almost
still
wiggled,
has a
didn't it?
chance
So I wonder whether
to be
there was
joint
a little
leader.
bit of a squeeze.
Depends
from
then what
Oseka,
happens with Nemba
and
of
Lismon
Italy.
was not able to get through, but Lismon's looking in his mirrors and
Liza Dillon also now trying to go as joint leader and does match now Chloe on 22 hits.
Sorry, no, Ayrton Red Eyes,
Ariana Nemba now of Italy, a chance to go into the lead by 1 hit.
And Ayrton is, well, yeah, not lapping particularly strongly at all, nearly in the 44s, bearing in mind that Mara Engel is
one
in
hit,
the 42s.
one miss, so each athlete, I think, feeling the heat
in the 43s.
quite literally
remember, tyre conservation is going to
no
be...
surprise, really, that Ryza Dillon is the only athlete so far with just those 2 hits at Station 4. It's incredibly hot here. And the humidity really is starting to rise, even though it's more of a dry heat.
Whether it's a change in the surface or whatever, last year the best lap of the race was set on lap 3.
Very sticky, quite sweaty. Shuliak also matches Ryza Dillon with 2 out of 2 to take her total to 20 and just keep the pressure on the others as we go to Station 5 for the next elimination. So interesting shooting from Ksenia Shuliak, now 1 behind Raghunanshi, who had a perfect start up until 14 hits. And just on that second visit, sorry, to Station 4, was when that first miss happened for Raghunanshi. 3 athletes tied on 22, Raghunanshi on 21, Shuliak on 20.
Now, Maro Engel is fastest at the moment of this race, a 141.392, so we're not actually on that pace yet. I think we will get there, but not at this early stage of the race. It's going to be a different complexion to this year's Barcelona 24-hour.
Starting to get into a little bit of our TCE traffic. We've got 5 cars in TCE, 1 TCR Cupra. We've got the BMW Time Attack car. Peter will tell you lots about that later. We've got a sort of out of homologation.
Raghunanshi, great shooting. Came here as the top qualifier in bib number 1.
Civics, they are not
4 out of 4 at Station 5.
Over in America in endurance racing over there, and completely bespoke.
So she has secured her place in the next stage of this final.
A real mix of cars in the TCE category, and our GT3 cars having to carve through the back end of those right now.
In that TCE category, the car that started at the very back of the grid
Chloe
is now at the front.
Chilensin now trying to secure her place
in
this final as it continues. So no target. So Chloe will get to shoot again now at Station 5.
The pleasure of having a few miles in the past. I drove one with a manual gearbox. I presume that'll be a PDK, and it was fantastic.
Well, that's 1 hit, 1 miss.
It was lovely. Although
it takes the 25. Total of 25 for the 14-year-old from the United States.
Little scares.
So Ryza Dillon now with a chance to go into the lead if she were to hit all 4.
For Rick Broikers, a lot of steering input there coming around that very, very fast, long right hand.
That's 2 down, 2 to go.
At the moment, running second in category and around 6 or 7 seconds away from the class leader, which is James Kellett, who's up the road in the HRT performance car. But Red Camel, they've got to think about the championship. At the moment, they're leading the championship from RPM by 6 points only, and 16 points from Home Guard. So for them, they've got to have one eye on the race, but also one eye on the championship. It's a great year, but they want to finish it off in style here.
Ryza Dillon with 3 out of 4, but it's enough for now. 25 to go alongside Chilensin of the United States and also Raghunanshi of India.
2 Audis at the tail of the GT3 pack, and now, well, James
great shooting from Ariana Nemba.
Space, 15 seconds.
2 more and she'll take the lead.
Mercedes.
Bib number 4, crucial really to take lead at this stage of a final.
Martin Rump in 3rd position in 992, so loads of space to do his own thing. We did see that car quite tricky to drive
hit
from Luke Broikers yesterday in qualifying.
That Shuliak will now leave in 5th place. No matter what happens here, the rest of the athletes on 25. Shuliak's maximum here is 24. So the individual neutral athlete will finish in 5th place.
Gregory Servais is up to 4th position in the Ajit Kumar Racing Porsche. I know there's a lot of you online that will be supporting the AK Racing by Red Ant, and Servais is up in a brand new chassis since yesterday. So they might have done a shakedown this morning, potentially like 1 or 2 laps, but they had to rebuild a new car overnight after a crash.
It doesn't really matter so much for Shuliak at this stage because she has finished 5th, but now just shooting for pride with these last 2 targets.
Meant a very, very late night for the boys down there to get a new car built, and they're up to 4th position.
And that's no target again.
The first laps they'll have done in that car.
Seen that quite a bit over the afternoon.
Going to the grid laps.
Only in this final, but also with the men junior earlier on.
No, definitely not. But the car, interestingly, is in an Scuderia Farron livery. So maybe they bought it from, maybe it's a Scuderia Farron's car and they've either borrowed it or bought it. I don't know. We'll find out. That's something for John Hindhoff and Carla Velti to find out for us. Maro Maro Engel leads the motor race by 2.8 seconds, but already that Mercedes AMG looking very out of shape in certain places, the car moving around.
So 2 out of 4 for Ksenia Shuliak. And the individual neutral athlete leaves this final in 5th place to put us down now to the remaining 4 and the battle for a podium place.
The track is abrasive on the tyre, but doesn't actually give much grip in certain scenarios. So this is going to be a challenge all race long.
Well, interesting developments here. We thought it would be a close final. All 4 athletes that remain are all on 25. That was after 26 targets. Let's see it now adjusted. Well, it's anyone's final. Remember, the bib number system is in place for this next elimination and up until the bronze medal decision. Once we go for the battle for gold and silver, and if there's a tie, it'll go down to a shoot-off. So real tense moments here at this ISSF Junior World Cup here in New Delhi. Who will have their name on the gold medal?
But for some reason, the second vortex is being run as a 9.74 this weekend. And usually, would I not? Yeah. Usually those would be reserved, I would have thought, for the 992 category cars. So why they've chosen to run a different number also means that they won't be.
And Raghunanshi that time with 4 out of 4. India are guaranteed a medal in this final by virtue of having 2 athletes left.
Selena's been at 1 with that car, she said in an interview yesterday. And she is leading GTX, just the 2 vortexes in GTX.
So that's another no target. So Inka Ferry, our referee,
as we mentioned earlier, is the Porsche
signals for the targets to come again.
And GT4 is being led by the local team, NM Racing. They've got 2 Mercedes in GT4 and a Porsche. And the team Sorel Rensport Porsche now has dropped
just
to
after
3rd
that slight
position.
delay and disruption.
I'm so impressed with the number 18
brace of hits
Audi
from
of Stefan Tribadini there, running, albeit 10 seconds behind the second place car of Klaus Bacher, but holding his own very, very well. And this is the thing about the Michelin 24-hour series. You won't see cars filled all with professional drivers. It's always a mixture of amateurs and professionals.
So Liza Dillon now has a chance. As joint leader, takes those first 2, has 2 more. She hits these alongside Raghunanshi.
Don't make the mistakes and keep the car out of the pit. But Stefan Tribadini is doing that and doing it with some great pace as well. And is
again another no target.
It very difficult for Joseph Kral to overtake for
the athletes dealing with this really well.
At the moment, here comes Kral now as they head down the hill.
The referee just asking Reiser just to unload those 2 cartridges as she stepped forward to check the mics.
His line firmly, and
the 2 birds have been released. They both worked.
Engel leads by 3 seconds in his TFT Mercedes over Proton Uber competition.
And Reiser absolutely nails those 2, 4 out of 4, and dealt with that interruption very well.
Those 2 Ferraris at bay.
So the 2 Indian athletes now both on 29.
It was quite an aggressive start, actually, from Klaus Bacher. Started in 3rd position behind Maro Engel. And rather than just following Engel into turn 1, Peter, he actually tried to sneak up the inside of him.
That he did, yeah. It was a little bit of a steady getaway from Maro Engel, but the torque of the Mercedes AMG 6.2 litre came in, and you're right. The Proton Huber orange and purple machine of Klaus Bacher.
We heard that beep in the background for the former European champion Ariana Nemba with a 3 out of 4 to take members total to 28. And we now have 2 athletes tied on 28, 2 on 29 as we go back to station 4. Well, we came into station 3, all 4 athletes on the same, all on 25. Now there's just a slight separation. The 2 Indian athletes are tied for the lead.
Junior team, but there's quite a few drivers in that car which definitely have more life experience than that. I'm not sure why they call it the junior team, but
because it's the we've covered this in a previous race. I remember it is not the driver lineup that's junior, it's the team, the mechanics. So it's like a second team for them to gain experience before moving into the Premier GT3 World
She now stays on a total of 30.
Okay. Yeah. That's good, and what a great way as well when you've got experienced drivers like
now
Pierre
has a
Caffer,
chance
who's been an Audi
to go
Works
level.
driver seemingly forever. when you could have such a thing.
One hit, one miss.
To help and to help with the car and to give advice and how to deal with the team, etc. That's a really, really cool project, and clearly they've prepared a great car. They're a former champion, of course, in this series. In fact, they're the outgoing GT3 Pro-Am champions. So back here for the 24 hours of Barcelona. They haven't done the full season.
Riser Dillon, meanwhile,
hoping to get
is starting to look like she's in cruise control.
Tomorrow afternoon. Maro Engel doing his job at the moment, pulling away quite convincingly, actually, from Klaus Bachler. So 142.5 last time by for Engel, but Bachler in second, 143.1. So the gap's now up to 3.9. So is Engel able to make the tyre perform longer? Is he taking performance out of it too early? These are questions that will only be answered over the next 35 minutes, because if we run green for the next 35 minutes, that's roughly when we'll see the GT3 cars come in for their first pit stop.
We do not have
safety cars here at the Michelin 24-hour series.
Targets from high and low house.
So if there is an incident on track, the track needs to be neutralised so that there's a recovery or barrier repair or whatever it might be. We have a code 60, which means that we go to a speed limit of 60 kilometres an hour. Everyone has to travel at 60 kilometres an hour.
Non-verbal communication with the side referee.
A lot of pit work going on, because most of the teams that have been successful in 24-hour series competition in the past, they seem to always go, like Herber, for example. Whenever the code 60 would come out, they would go and they would very, very rarely refuse surface.
And has dealt with that brilliantly. 2 targets, 2 hits.
They've won this race 4
so
times.
now we go back to station 5. Interesting developments. We now have 2 athletes tied on 30. We have Riser Dillon in front on 31, just by that 1 hit. And Chloe Chelensin of the United States, the 14-year-old in bib number 2, is in 4th place on 29 hits. So this is the decision now for 4th place. Who will make it through to the podium and who will leave without a medal?
But Solène, for I think the first time, is showing the heels to her father.
Just quick shot of Marco Mori there of Italy.
The road after
the CS engineers in charge of the scoreboard.
Hours worth of driving, so she
always does a real solid job, does Marco.
This weekend,
experienced man and really on it.
Which was launched here 3 years ago. We didn't see it straight away on the racetrack. The Vortex 1.0 carried on for quite a while.
Well, those final 2 crucial 2 hits for Raghunanshi to take her total to 33. A maximum now
more crucially,
for Chelensin to get to 33 as well. 4 targets at station 5.
We saw in the first part of
qualifying 2 quick hits in succession.
That, the GTX Vortex was faster than all of the 992 cars.
The aero concept
America now take advantage of Raghunanchi's miss on that first bird.
Straight line speed, but also good grip round the.
Hit and a miss from the 14-year-old. Total of 32.
Gomez brothers, and great to see them have more of
Riser Dillon, a maximum of 35.
Take to these
totals available here.
Races as well. Leader in TCE
Real pressure
going very well at the moment is the 111.
Just Riser Dillon, who takes those 2 targets very well, but also now for Ariana Nemba.
Have a significant advantage.
The Italian can only hit a maximum of
34 seconds or so. Back to Kevin Clark in the GMEC Engineering BMW E46. Yes, E46 M3. Spoke to Kevin Clark at breakfast
on the last one. Riser Dillon will go on to the podium. Will march on to try and battle for a medal.
BMW when it was a period car, when it was new. But this car's got quite the background behind it, which I'm sure we'll chronicle. But as best at the moment, I have 2 cars here, 2 very different cars, of course.
Now this is
one Porsche
crucial
GT4
2 shots,
Sport and
not only for Nemba, the Italian, but also
Peter, you're an expert
for the American.
Porsche's far better than I will ever be. We've got a Cayman GT4
and Ariana Nemba takes those 2. It's a total of 34, which means we have our next elimination, and just missing out on a podium place and a medal at this final. She's 14 years old, has come the whole way from the United States, coached by the illustrious Vincent Hancock. And the Americans behind me going absolutely berserk, and rightly so. What an achievement for 14-year-old Chloe Chelensin to come all the way here to Italy, make this final. Just missed out on a medal and a place on the podium, but what an experience, and I'm sure she'll take that forward now in her career. At 14 years old, she's astonished the world by coming here to this ISSF Junior World Cup. Shot really well, leaves on a total of 32 and in 4th place.
What then became the GT4 race car. In fact, you can take your GT4 race car to a dealership and have it serviced.
So India guaranteed 2 medals. The former European champion in there, flying the flag for Italy. On a total of 34 alongside Riza Dillon. And now these next 10 targets to decide the first medal of this final.
Even better. So the car that's the reason why it's in TCE is because it's not a homologated GT4 race car. Hope that makes sense. With Porsche, it's always confusing sometimes. Because it's a 718 and it's also a 982. Don't ask.
Don't do that. But the GT4 cars,
check of her footing,
as in an SRO homologated GT4 car, is still based upon.
And that shows a bit of experience as well from the 19-year-old.
And there's not a huge amount of difference. Normally they say
because the preparation for each shot, putting the shot going to the mount position, hip swivel, getting your brain focused.
Engine, road gearbox, and the GT3 is sort of
doing that to perfection time and time and time again.
An 80% race.
Just gives you an idea of how grueling these Skeet finals are. You've got to add on days of qualifying as well before that.
But a lot of the rest of it is very,
they make it look easy, but it sure isn't.
GT4 car uses the road gearbox.
Riza Dillon, 4 out of 4, and rises up to the top.
That's where
38 hits.
A lot of the performance.
Nemba now has a chance to go level.
But it is worth pointing out that the way that GT3 has developed, if they recently have revived the GT3 series as a historic series, and you look at those cars from 2013, 14, 15, and they still are very much based on the road car with a cage inside, and you know they started off their life as something that
you just saw the recoil there on that shotgun.
Into a race car.
And Ariana Nemba looks really focused.
We see now the 296.
Can she move into the driving seat? Well, Riza Dillon will certainly have something to say about that. Both of those athletes now on a total of 38, and Raghuvanshi, who came in with bib number 1 as the top qualifier, is now on a total of 36 as we go back to station 4.
Moved the game on in GT3 racing. I mean the modular parts, particularly the rear section, the way it can be changed very quickly in a pit stop. I mean, when Ferrari won the Nürburgring 24 for the first time with the Fricadelli team, they had a puncture coming onto the Dottingerhoe about 2 or 3K from the end of the lap.
Well, the delay in that second shot was the giveaway, perhaps, that Target had raced away Raghuvanshi with one hit out of those 2 birds.
Anyway, and that kept them in the race, and they won the race. I think that serviceability won the race. But what an entire rear end of a Ferrari GT3 car costs, I wouldn't want to know.
Riza Dillon
it has moved the
showing
cost
real
up,
class,
but the performance is, and the serviceability has gone up as well. And you see a lot of those Ferrari 296
Dillon's the eldest in this final at 21.
How many have we got in the race this weekend?
3 junior days.
Yeah, it's a popular car wherever you go.
Again, that superb shooting from Nemba to match Riza Dillon, now both on 40. Is that the battle for the gold? Is it these two that are going to carry on to do so? Well, we've got another visit to station 5, and Raghuvanshi now on 37, so that's a maximum of 41.
So always a slight surprise. Every time I see that, I have to double check
Riza Dillon
because it doesn't
gets through to a total of 42. She confirms that she'll be in the battle for gold and silver.
Italian flag so furiously. Orica very proud to be chosen as the constructor and supporter of the GT3 program.
Needs to get 4 if she's to try and upgrade the bronze medal. And even then, it's only a chance that will happen. Certainly not a given by any means. So another 2.
While we think about other great cars that Orica have built over the years, let's go down to John Hindhaugh and hear what he's got to say.
So gets those final 2, a total of 41. Now the bib system is still there to decide the bronze medal.
Club sports.
So Raghuvanshi may still, it's very slim, may have a chance of moving forward, but it's looking likely for bronze.
Obviously, Premiership later on this afternoon. It would be nice to have.
So Ryder Dillon now is into the battle for gold and silver.
A few different things about what happens in the penalty box. First of all, you can take a penalty if there is a code 60 out.
Miss on that last one, so a chance now for Nemba to go in as the clear leader. The former European champion now faces 4 targets at station 5.
This year, which Peter and Ben will tell you about. This is at the start of the pit lane, and if Seb swings round,
2 to go.
what you'll see that's also different in the 24-hour series, 40-kilometre speed limit in the pit lane, but the reason that sign is right in front of the penalty box is because on the other side of that is 20 kilometres an hour.
So Ariana Nemba, 44 is her total, which now means the bronze medal has been confirmed. She came in as the top qualifier. In bib number 1, it's the 19-year-old from India, and Mansi Raghuvanshi, who's the current Asian champion, took that gold medal earlier on this year. Has also competed at World Championships and was 6th in the mixed team junior and 5th in the individual at the World Championships. Now has a bronze medal at this ISSF Junior World Cup and looks absolutely delighted, and rightly so. So Mansi Raghuvanshi now confirmed as the bronze medalist on a total of 41. And it's Ryder Dillon who flies the flag for the home nation of India into this battle for gold against the former European champion Ariana Nemba. Nemba, I'm sure, with memories of that 4th place in Seoul at the Junior World Cup earlier this year. He's already now improved on that. It's a guaranteed silver. It could even be a gold over these next 10 targets. The battle for gold is on.
And you don't want to be queuing up, well, you never want to be queuing up for your fuel pump, whether you're in a racing or a normal road situation. But sometimes we have 10 available to us. Here in Barcelona, from what I can see out my window, we have 8. So 4 pumps.
And Dillon of India deals with the pressure so well in those last 2 hits.
And therefore, you don't all want to come in at the same
Gets
time.
the first, misses the second. So 46.
At the moment, though, we've just had 2 little yellow flags for 2 cars that have momentarily stopped and carried on. We've got all cars out on circuit. It's all going swimmingly well after the first half an hour of action at Barcelona de Catalunya.
And just perfect.
Nemba now trying to shoot her way into a 2-shot advantage.
The clouds have lifted a bit since the start.
These next 2 targets will decide that.
Keep the track up, which will, of course, not help the tyre wear and degradation. It's very pleasant in the air, but that's
so Nemba gets those last 2. Now has a 2-hit advantage. 2 more stations to go unless we go to a shoot-off. Another visit to station 4. Just 2 targets each at station 4, and then back to station 5. So Ryder Dillon first to go.
Turned around. Klaus Bachler is
Get up
closing
to a total of 48, which would therefore mean she's equaling Nemba's total.
For the lead.
Is that 2-hit target difference going to be the difference?
Holds on to 3rd place. Joseph Kral has not been able to get past him, and I remind you, Stefan Tribadini is graded as an AM driver. All of the drivers around him are graded as either semi-pros or pros. Doing a great job at the moment is Stefan Tribadini.
Does have a lot of experience.
He does.
Well, quite a long delay there. It is a randomised delay after all. It's 1 hit, 1 miss, so it goes down to a gap of 1 hit. And are these going to be the final shots? Will it go to a shoot-off?
He was part of the Lamborghini Super Trofeo Championships.
This final's been so close between these 2 athletes. Around the middle to 3rd part of this final, Ryder Dillon just absolutely looked like she was in cruise control.
GT World Challenge,
she's 1 behind.
Super Trofeo, you mentioned the Italian GT.
Has the hopes of a nation on her shoulders right now, back at station 5. Here we go.
Matching tool for Toy. Remember, Maro Engel has been an AMG factory driver for a long time. Klaus Bachler has been in the Porsche factory team for several years now as well. And to be, after 40 minutes of racing, you're well under a second a lap way. That is really, really impressive and encouraging, I would say, for Chantalok.
Well, Ryza Dillon has hit one, missed one. So a total of 51. All she can do now, she's to stand a chance of gold, is
because you've got Michael
hope that either Ariana misses too many, or at least she has a chance to go for a shoot-off.
In the
3 hits is all the Italian needs here, and that's 2. One more, and the Italian is the gold medalist.
Over the years, if you need a 5th driver, you don't really want that 5th driver to be another paying am. You kind of want to keep the pace up, and so...
And 2 hits at the end, so Ariana Nemba, the former European champion, takes the gold medal. And embraces with Ryza Dillon, representing the home nation of India. Ryza Dillon, the silver medalist, and Ariana Nemba, a terrific performance, just did enough under this intense heat. It's very hot here in New Delhi, and the Italians come all the way to India, dealt with the preparation, dealt with the jet lag, and will go away now as the gold medalist in this Junior World Cup, and that's certainly an upgrade from 4th place in Seoul a few months ago. Well, a terrific final right the way across the board, and India guaranteed those 2 medals. So Manshi Raghuvanshi will now be confirmed as the bronze medalist. And big smiles, takes a wave to the crowd as well, and a wave to the cameras.
Who don't make their prime living from racing, but that once you get to a certain age, you go to bronze automatically. So Patrick Weissman, good example in the 907.
And India also with the silver medal. I'm sure Ryza Dillon was hoping for the gold, just wasn't meant to be on the day. Looks a little disappointed, but on the day was just beaten by a stronger skeet shooter, the former European champion, 20-year-old Ariana Nemba, who was a silver medalist in the World Championships in the mixed team junior last year. Was also a bronze medalist at the World Championships in Lima during 2024. Has taken the gold medal here at this ISSF Junior World Cup in New Delhi 2025. So that's how it finished. India came into this final with 3 athletes. They've left with 2 medals and are now well and clear in terms of the medal table. You can go to the ISSF website if you'd like to check the stats and have a look at the latest news as well. And that concludes our schedule for today. So India with a gold medal earlier on in the air pistol mixed team junior, and then in the skeet men junior earlier on, a terrific performance from Marco Coco. Came from behind as well, ever so well in the latter stages of that final to take the gold medal for Italy. And Italy have done a double outside in the skeet finals. Ariana Nemba managed to just get in front of Ryza Dillon going into those last 10 targets. That 2-hit difference really was the crucial factor, and Italy have wound up with 2 gold medals from this afternoon. So day 3, that's what it looks like tomorrow. We're going back indoors to the air conditioning, and midday for our first final, the rifle 3 positions women junior, and then later on tomorrow afternoon, 2 p.m. for the 50-metre rifle 3 positions men's junior. We'll be back in a few moments with some interviews with the medalists, with our announcer Jamie Stangroom. We'll also have some highlights for you of that Skeet Women Junior final. But certainly history made in terms of the 14-year-old from the United States, Chloe Chalison, making 4th place just outside the podium and just outside the medals. But no doubt she'll be back, as will all the others who featured in this final. So don't go anywhere at all. We'll be back with a few interviews for you, and then we'll see you tomorrow as well for day 3 of the ISSF Junior World Cup, all those 2-3 positions finals indoors. Do stay with us, and thanks very much for coming along today.
Then there's a drop-off, and then it's how you manage it from there on.
So interesting to see what kind of pace we can see now from Joseph Crowell, who's been released from Stefan Tribodini. That only must have happened on the last lap or 2. Will we start seeing green sectors on tyres that have done 25 laps?
Ryza, congratulations. It's another World Cup medal. Last time it was silver in Seoul. It's silver here in New Delhi. We'll talk about the fact we're here in New Delhi, but first of all, the final itself. Talk us through that from your point of view, because it was very close.
Oh, yeah, it was very challenging. I started in a bit of a, a risky position, but my goal was never to give up, because things can change really fast, especially in skeet. So I was just taking it station by station, target by target. Yeah.
You've had a really big couple of years competing at the Olympics. Last year you had your first Senior World Cup this year, and this here in India is your last junior event, so I suppose it's the perfect way to end this phase of your career.
It is. I was really hoping that I could get the gold, especially at a home range. But I learned a lot. It was especially difficult to shoot this tournament because I was just recovering from a fever a while, and then we have had like back-to-back competitions. So it's really challenging, but I'm happy with my results. Yes.
How are you feeling now as you transition into being a full-time senior athlete?
I think it's in a way a blessing in disguise. It's really difficult to manage a senior and junior, schedule as an athlete. So I'll be going for the Greece World Championships. So that'll be the start of my permanent senior journey. Yeah.
Congratulations again, Riza, for today, and good luck in Greece. We'll see you in Athens.
Alexander Prince right now coming through through turn 2 and 3 into the long, never-ending 3 and 4. The GT3 car getting up to about 160 kilometers an hour through there, then on the power up to about 200 kilometers on the X, then hit the brakes at 220 kph. And just as we follow Alexander Prince through into sector 2, we're going to have a code 60, and it's the leading car in TCE. The Asbest Porsche number 111 is off the road and has triggered our first code 60, which will be coming out any second now. And indeed,
Ariana, congratulations. You've just won gold here in New Delhi, your first gold medal at a World Cup. How are you feeling right now?
Oh, it's amazing being here and having won, and I'm just overwhelmed by this. It's so amazing.
And it was a really amazing final to watch. It was so close, so tight between all 6 from the very beginning. You in the end were head-to-head with an Indian athlete here in India with the home support. Did that add any extra pressure for you?
Not really, because I heard my teammates and I also know that at home my parents and my brother and all my family are following me, so I was strong enough.
And for you, looking ahead, you had your first taste of a senior World Cup this year. You're in Peru. You still have some time to go as a junior. What's the plan for you next with competitions?
For this year, I'm over, and I'll see maybe next year what's going on, and I'll follow what our coaches say.
Okay, well, enjoy the rest, and I'm sure we'll see you next year. Ariana, congratulations on the gold medal.
Thank you so much.
You're welcome.
Thank you.
Hey Mansi, congratulations. You're at your first World Cup and you're taking home the bronze medal. How are you feeling right now?
I'm feeling very proud for India because it's my first World Cup and third international, and I have won the gold medal in Asian Championship and this my bronze medal in this World Cup. It's very proud feeling for me and for my family. It's very proud.
Yeah, of course, for you as an athlete individually, a very proud moment, but you'll be sharing the podium with a teammate, Riza Dillon, so a good day for India as well.
Yes, I'm very thankful to the NRI team and the DSPW Academy where I train regularly, and my parents for supporting me.
Well, Mansi, congratulations again. You've got a podium, you've got a medal to go and collect, so I'll let you go. Thank you for talking to me.
Thank you.
You're welcome.
Thank you. Thank you.
Okay, well done.